What's up, HyperFast Nation? On this episode of the show, we've got a second-time guest making a return appearance, this time along with his new partner agent and also his sister. This was an interesting conversation. Welcome to the show, Jonathan and Amanda. All right, welcome back to the show, Jonathan. How are you doing today?
Good. How's it going?
Good. Last time we had you on, and it was different times, of course. We were actually in the studio. It was when in-studio interviews were going on more, and it was just you. Now we've got someone else, right?
We do, yeah. Now it's a team of two.
That's right.
All right, and Amanda, you're not just the typical team member joining Jonathan's mini team, right? You've known him for a while, right?
Yeah, I've known him just about his whole life now.
For 23 years. We go back.
Yeah, I'm actually his older sister. Older is a key fact here.
Yeah.
No, it's good. So yeah, I work technically for Jonathan. So.
Okay, so a lot to unpack here. Going from solo agent to building out a team in a year. I think that's pretty cool. And then working with your older sister. I commend you for that. Before we get into that, team dynamic stuff, which is a lot of cool stuff. Give our listeners a little bit refresher who you are and how you got into real estate and got off to such a fast start that you're able to start building out a team this quickly.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I started with the team last year, and then from literally Jan 1 started out. We did 35 deals last year for about 22 million, and then added Amanda. So we're already on pace to do 54. I've done 15 so far for about 8 million. Kind of always came from a little bit of real estate background. Did real estate development in college, some property management. Always loved architecture and people, and the biggest thing was really just graduating, getting into real estate. I didn't think anybody was gonna take me seriously because I'm literally now 23. So, but no, it's been great. It's definitely doable, definitely possible for anybody. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Totally believe in it. So yeah.
Well, no, you've certainly had an amazing start, and it seems like off to a good start this year with 15 deals, and we're still like in the middle of the last month of the first quarter, so a lot of room there. Amanda, why don't you give a little background now on yourself and why you decided to go work for your little brother.
Yeah, actually, a little bit of a crazy jump, but that's okay. So I actually been working for the government, doing program security work for the Navy. So very, very different. And yeah, I did that for like 5 years, and Jonathan had moved up to the DC area, and I watched him do appointments and do showings and just like do everything for the business. And I was kind of like, I could totally do that. And I could have like more time to myself. Like the job that I had, I couldn't even have my phone with me. So this was a completely different experience. And I get to like kind of manage my own schedule. So to some degree, obviously. But yeah, so we were talking, and it's funny because I joined the team. People would always say like, oh, is Amanda going to be your partner agent? And John would be like, heck no, absolutely not. And I was like, first off, rude. Yeah. And we talked about it. And then like one day it was like, like 11 p.m. one night or
Friday. It was
something.
like a Friday night, and it just
Both had lots of drinks. I'm guessing. Right?
Probably.
Well, actually, no. I was actually driving to Pennsylvania.
To hang out with a buddy.
Really, really relevant. And I was literally driving, and I was like, it probably wouldn't be that bad of an idea. So I called Amanda, and we had like an hour-long discussion. I was basically looking for a new partner agent. We had I had let go of my old one, and but literally I was interviewing like 2, 3, 4 other people at the time. And then Friday night hit me. Saturday, talked to our sales manager all day. And then by Sunday, Monday, it was official. Like it was like a 2-day turnaround.
We were like, we could do this.
I was like, well,
let's try it.
Here we go. But
wow. And what made you led you to believe this would be a great idea?
We're not sure, really.
Yeah. No, put it this way. I guess the biggest piece of feedback I was getting as like a team leader, right, is I knew I didn't want to bring in someone underneath me, right, that's older than me, right, because it's like it's just a little bit of a weird dynamic. And the other piece of feedback was I can kind of be, to put it lightly, an asshole sometimes.
No, you're blunt.
I'm blunt. And so basically,
and you move really fast.
Basically, I was like, okay, I'm going to need a guy this time. I want to have a guy as a partner agent, whatnot. But no, then I was like, literally, Amanda, she gets me. She knows how my mind works. She's known me. She knows that she can handle my ADHD self. And so it's kind of good. Like, she kind of puts me in my place and I can kind of be myself, which is really relaxing.
Was there any hesitancy or fear or worry from either of you on this?
Yeah.
1,000%.
We definitely like had to set some like expectations, I feel like. Because I was like, hey, listen, I'm coming from a very structured world. And I started out as an individual agent, but I only did that for like a month. So I didn't really actually have like experience necessarily as an individual agent. So I was going from a ton of structure to a month of literally zero structure because I'm trying to build a pipeline. And then asking Jonathan, like, yo, I need a little bit of like, I need you to tell me what I need to do. I need you to explain things. I need you to not get frustrated with me. Like, because Jonathan will be like, hey, I need you to do this thing and send it to me on zip forms. And I'm like, okay, how do I do it? And he's like, never mind, I'll just do it. And I'm like, I'm not going to learn if you do this to me. Like, just tell me how to do it.
Yeah, that's the one for. Yeah, and also just like, it's everyone's worst nightmare, right? Oh, you want to work with like your brother or sister? Like, yeah, probably not, because if it goes downhill, well, Thanksgiving's gonna be a weird time. So, but like, no, we set a lot of expectations up front, and it was very much just like, hey, if this doesn't work out, then no sweat, no tears, no thing. But basically, it's all right.
Yeah, we like reevaluate it in 6 months and be like, hey, this is too emotionally like exhausting.
If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I'd say it's been now 4 months, 4 months, 4 or 5 months, 4 months, and no red flags. And
what made you decide to jump from government contracting to something, that's something very stable, to real estate, which is anything but that for most people? So kind of like a little bit of like a long story, which I will not go all the way into, but I like end all be all, I really wanted like FBI, NCIS, like that whole federal kind of world. And I got this job, I got my clearance, I was climbing this ladder pretty quickly for the government. And then I had applied to NCIS and they said, hey, you can join us, but you're gonna have to move every 2 years. And I was like, I can't do that to my husband. That's not cool. And so I said, never mind. And then FBI was like, okay, you can work here, but you'd have to take like a 50% pay cut. And I was like, all right, I'm not doing that either. So I kind of like looked around and was like, every ladder I would prefer to climb, I actually no longer want to climb that anymore. So like, what do I really want to do? And so I was already kind of like, I can sit where I am and be comfortable and be fine. And I wouldn't say I was unhappy with my job. I was like, fine, indifferent maybe. So once I kind of saw this, I was like, listen, I can make like a lot more money, obviously, in that sort of government work. Less benefits necessarily, but like the benefits are great. But I was like, it's more risk, but it's also more reward. So I kind of was like, screw it, let's do it.
Yeah.
they'll take me back.
and I think the partner agent model is great, you know, for people like you that are coming out of a job that has a lot of stability, has a lot of predictability, because it's a way to transition into real estate and know that you're going to get a steady amount of business and learn from someone that has experience closing deals.
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly, I think that this is a really good move if you're at least a little bit hesitant. And I've talked to other solo agents who are brand new, and if they get really frustrated with like building a pipeline and wanting to, and like they want to be busy and they want to like do deals, but they can't get it done fast enough, kind of like you can't build a pipeline fast enough, and it makes a lot of them frustrated. And I've talked to some of them and just kind of said like, hey, being a partner agent it's not a step back. You're not necessarily like settling. Like, yes, realistically, if I was an individual agent and I did, like, let's say I want to do 18 deals to support Jonathan as a partner agent. If I went off and did 18 deals on my own, would I make a little bit more money? Yes. But I'm getting the experience of doing 54 deals, and most individual agents are maybe doing 12. So like, even if all I did was say, hey, let me just take this little trial year and be a partner agent, even if it's just for a year, get the experience of what 54 deals looks and feels like, and building a pipeline and what works for you, what doesn't, getting out of your shell, like cold calling, you know, all sorts of stuff that might make you uncomfortable. Following up 12 times, that kills me. That like hurts my heart, but you have to do it. Like all those different steps, like learning how to do it. And then if I wanted to do this year and then go in to be an individual agent, I'm gonna be so much more successful than if I just started and kind of struggled through a year. So.
Yeah, I think all of those points you brought up are key to people starting out. Like it is hard to have stability, to have predictability when you first get in the business and kind of know what to do and when to do it. And most people that are good, it takes them at least 3 to 6 months to start getting income to come in too. That's another big thing. So, you know, you either gotta do it as a side hustle, which is how I started off, or save up a bunch of money, or have a second source of income or something, or just like gut it out and you know, live off ramen noodles. So the partner agent model is a way to, I think, kind of solve all of those problems. Like you know that there's going to be business from the get-go. You're going to have someone telling you the things to focus on, and you're going to learn how to go out and build your business as well.
Right. And I mean, I will say Jonathan gives me a lot of freedom. I think there are a lot of teams who the partner agents are more of kind of like a administrative person, or like do more secretary work, if you will, or administrative work. But there's been already a few times where I've done my own appointments. I do showings and inspections. I do everything on my own if that's how it kind of comes down to it. So yeah. I feel like by the time I do become an individual agent, or if we like grow our team to have more, and I'm considered a solo agent under the team umbrella, I'll be set up for success. So I'm a big fan of the partner agent route, especially if you need the stability.
What's been the challenge, if any, for you guys in you know, in working together, starting the mini team, growing your business? What challenges have you encountered, and what have you done to solve those?
Challenges of working together, or just like challenges right now with clients in the market?
No, just in general, working together, and then we can kind of specifically dive into the market itself. Well,
I would say one is like, which we knew kind of from the get-go would be a challenge, would be like family vacations, or if we have an event we need to go home for the weekend, like we're both off for the weekend. You don't get to leave a person behind.
Kind of defeats the purpose of like like part team, like, oh, you go home to family. Well, that's the same family. So if we both go home and we're both out and we're truly out. So I guess that's one challenge. But you know, we also all need a break here and there. So it's not the end of the world. But that right there, though, is honestly, though, been the big pro of being a family. Because it's like, that's already kind of my whole like angle with my clients now, is I want to be as personable as possible, right? I'm the most like laid back. everyone in the office knows I'm like not the dressy, like I'm not wearing a suit and tie. Like I like try to make it personal and like very friendly and just down to earth as possible. Well, now I literally get to be like, here's my sister. So I'm like,
joke, welcome to the family.
Yeah, welcome to the family. Like we'll probably FaceTime mom and like you'll like just, and they love that. They eat that up. Love it. They eat that up. So it's like, it's just one more step into when I meet someone, they just like breathe, open up to us. Now we're BFFs and now I have a new client. So it's like, it's just so easy. It's just very natural.
Yeah.
That's kind of the nice part about it too.
Yeah. Another challenge with like the time off stuff, and that was another one we kind of talked about. I was very adamant in the very beginning, like I'm going to need like a break every once in a while. Like I can't just like constantly work with no time off. And I'm in the reserves. So I have 1 week in a month where I'm dedicated to doing an Army drill weekend. And I was like, yo, that's time off from real estate, but that is not time off for Amanda because that is almost more exhausting than when I'm working. So I was like, this is going to suck for you to say like, oh, Amanda's gone Saturday, Sunday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then she might need a Monday after that because she can't just go straight.
Yeah.
You didn't get called up to the Capitol, did you?
No, thank goodness. Okay. Yeah. That was more National Guard.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But I've slept on many floors. So I've done that aspect.
Yeah. That was also like the other piece of feedback from my last encounter of having a partner agent was I kind of know I'm a little bit of a psycho in the sense of I work maybe like 7 days a week. But that's just kind of how my mind works.
That's how he's successful. I mean,
I stress out if I'm not working or have something in motion. It
stresses out if I'm not working too.
Yeah. I'll sometimes call her and be like, what are you doing?
And I'm like, nothing.
What are you doing right now? Yeah. But like
I think that, it's brings up a good point, I think, which is, when you go out and make your first hire, you don't always get it right. Unfortunately, that's when a lot of agents like give up on that process. So sometimes it takes more than once to learn and get the right person. And so if you're out there and you've made a hire and it didn't work out, like don't be afraid to go do it again. You'll probably have a much higher chance of succeeding because you've got some firsthand experience. You've paid the tax, so to say, the education tax on that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I'm gonna do it again. I'll probably get rid of her and.
Yeah. We have other siblings, so it'll be fine.
Carrie's gonna love that if I just keep bringing family members to the company.
Yeah, you got to keep tell your parents to keep making more coworkers for you.
No. We got a brother graduating this year.
Oh gosh,
Lord,
so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, and with that whole process, I like. Jonathan also took a step back because I was an individual agent at the time when he was letting go his partner agent, and I give him props. He did take a step back and say like, okay, what did I do wrong? Isn't the right word, but what could I do better next time? Like how could I manage someone who's maybe underperforming or who isn't picking up things as fast? Like because you're still going to get a brand new person. Like if you're starting a team and you're starting with a new hire partner agent, they still are going to walk in the door and not know anything. So it's like, hey, if you're getting frustrated with your person for not knowing anything and you fire them and get a new one, you're just getting another person who doesn't know anything. So you're still going to have to slow down, explain things.
And I wanted somebody young, like because that's what I thought, right? Like I didn't want to be a 23-year-old and I had a partner agent who was in their 30s just simply because I just didn't want that dynamic.
30, so old. Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? I needed someone close to my age to just try and keep it more comfortable between the two of us because I'm their boss in a way. And I didn't want that, which is why it was even a better route to just go with Amanda. Cause it was she literally family. So I can be myself. It's way more relaxing. So yeah.
I would agree on this end too. Like if Jonathan's frustrated or disappointed, I can just tell he's got something on his brain. And then in my head, especially I do this often, and other females I know do this often, where it's like, oh my gosh, is he mad at me? Did I do something wrong? I wasn't trying to throw all the women under the bus because not everybody does it, okay?
All females.
I definitely will be like, oh my gosh, did I do something wrong? Did I not do something fast enough? Am I forgetting to do something? Is he mad at me? Blah, blah, blah. But I can just look at him and be like, yo, what's wrong? And he's like, I'm just stressed. I'm like, okay, that's fine. We're good. It's not me. Great. which I don't feel like I could probably do with a normal partner agent.
What kind of challenges have you had recently with your clients? I know in many places inventory is low and that's been a challenge. Have you guys faced that, and what have you done to overcome that?
Yeah, inventory right now sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks. I like, what are we at? Like, there was some stat that was like from
40.
January 1st, 2020 to January 1st, 2021, we have 48% less inventory. Something insane. Like, this is the big drop in inventory has increased competition even more. So I guess really it's just like setting that expectation with your clients now, right? And then because those offers, it's like some people just don't get it that, oh, we do need to escalate $100,000. And that still might not win it. So it's like, and like sometimes clients just need to lose on their first home to get that, which is unfortunate, but I mean, that's just kind of how it is. So that's kind of been the one struggle, I would say. But other than that, I mean, just kind of waiting for the warmer months for real estate to start picking up.
I also think that sometimes like we have a lot of clients who were just like, I don't want to, like, I understand that this is the game that we have to go in, no contingencies, way above the game. Yeah. Go way above asking price.
Right.
And
21-day
like,
closing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't negotiate anything. Like, they're like, I get that this is a game, but I don't want to play that game. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, then let's only look at properties that have been on the market for at least more than a week. So that's another one that I feel like we've kind of just we kind of like learn that how do you, like, are you cool playing the game or are you not cool playing the game? And then let's kind of go from there. Because if they're like, oh, I'll play the game for properties I like, then it's like, okay, we'll keep sending you coming soon properties and we'll try and move quickly with you, and then we'll just tell you what we think like you're going to need to do. Yeah. But we definitely have had some that were like, I'm not doing it. I don't want to do, like, I'm old school. I want to have negotiations for repairs. I want to
seller subsidy.
I want ways to back out.
Yeah.
I want to go asking price. And it's like, all right, then you don't get new stuff. Sorry.
So then you're looking at listings that are a couple weeks old in those cases then.
Even no, I tell them if it's been on the market for 7 days, let's entertain it. If it's not gone in the first 6 days, then
you have some leverage.
I can come in and list. There's no competition. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're past a theoretical offer deadline of it being listed on a Wednesday, Thursday, and a deadline Monday, Tuesday, or that's 6-7 days, we have leverage. So I always tell them, like, if you're that kind of person, don't send me a property that just hit the market.
Which they still do.
Yeah.
Bless their hearts.
Then they'll send something that's like 1 day in the market, like 30 offers, and I'm like,
it's listed at like hot home. And you're like, well,
I'm not gonna say any names.
Well, I think the key is you educate them up front, let them know what the true makeup of the market is and what they can expect if it's just at the market versus 7 days. I mean, that's a huge difference in what'll work and what won't. So just giving them those options and that information, and they can decide what to do with it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And especially the ones that don't want to play the game, off markets have worked. We've gotten at least 2 like that recently.
Off market properties are great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
because hey, you can maybe go a little, they're willing to go above list price in a lot of cases. Like if it's like 10 grand, but $100,000 that makes their head explode.
You're theoretically saving money off market as a buyer.
Yeah.
I mean, with the way competition's looking like.
Maybe not always,
Sure.
You don't, you never know. And weird things.
That's the bet you're taking. That's the risk you're taking.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you like the house and it's off market,
and that works for you,
then let's go. Right. Let's not sulk over $20,000-$30,000 difference. It's barely going to make a difference to your mortgage. So, yeah, it's a good point. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to follow this family team dynamic and watch you guys grow and hopefully hit that 54, 55 deal number this year. So
maybe 56. 57.
I mean, yeah. Why not 60? If you're gonna do over 50, why not 60?
We'll shoot for 60.
Yeah, let's cherry on top. 61. Come on.
I mean, you're at 15 for Q1, so
Which means we have some room. We're not going to keep it up.
Yeah.
Inventory comes back. Spring inventory.
Yeah.
Spring inventory.
We'll see. Yeah.
Well, before we wrap up, I was in with a HyperFast round. So if you're ready for some rapid fire questions and answers, you can ping pong them or both answer them or do whatever you want. But first one, what's your biggest piece of advice to a new real estate agent?
Oh man, this is the newest, so go for it.
Nice. Yep. Hustle, obviously. You can't, you're going to come in the door and you have no pipeline and not putting all your eggs in one basket. This is what I did. I came in, I got 4 leads and I was like, heck yeah, I got 4 leads. They're all going to buy with me and this is all going to be great. And then they all ghosted me, weren't qualified. And I was like, wait.
One broke up with her.
I stopped calling because I had 4. Don't stop calling.
Yeah.
Don't stop building your pipeline. It's overwhelming at first because you're like, okay, let me just run these 4 to the finish line and then I'll go back. And that's not how it works. You have to have a circle.
It's not going to be handed. Success is not going to be handed to you. All right.
Yeah.
You got to grind. You got to hustle. And when you have that client who's like, psych, I'm not going to buy for another year, or I went behind your back and bought with some other agent.
It hurts your heart.
It happens.
So sad.
Don't cry.
The first one's really sad.
Just go on. Yeah, the first one's always hard.
The first one's really sad.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's your biggest piece of advice to an experienced real estate agent?
Great. Keep stretching those goals. Yes, right? Put it this way. Yeah, when I first started, my big goal was 18. I was like, if I could hit 18, that'd be huge. Realistically, I was like, probably hit 15, 16. We had 20 by June. Then Carrie was like, you're doing 36 this year. I was like, okay.
You're great.
Carrie is smoking. And then we did 35. And now this year's 54. And I was like, literally, this is insane.
And we just raised it to 60. So.
61. Yeah. So we're going to do 61 this year now. And so, just keep increasing your goal and have those insane goals, right? This would be my biggest piece of advice. Don't get comfortable. Just keep pushing yourself. Yeah.
What's the biggest challenge you've ever had in business, and how'd you overcome it?
A very broad question.
That is kind of a broad question.
Biggest challenge.
The biggest challenge, I guess, I would say my biggest challenge to date in my entire real estate career was truly the worst deal I've ever had to deal with. And it was with one of our coworkers on the listing side. And it took over 3 months. And there was 4 deals involved in the span of it, of selling their home, or 3 deals. I was helping them buy 2 different homes, a son and mother. And there was just financing falling through left and right for everybody. And lenders, we had weird lenders. The biggest solution we found out, biggest takeaway from it is use your trusted lenders, use trusted title companies. Not every lender out there knows what they're doing. And it's that was the biggest headache challenge to date. It was a mess. It was horrible. EMDs were getting taken left and right, lawsuits. It was just disgusting.
It's not a good time for you.
Yeah, it's not a good time. Yeah.
All right. I vaguely remember that one, but
it was.
Carrie figure it out.
Yeah, Carrie. Yeah, I woke up to a Carrie phone call, and it was just make it happen.
Make this happen.
Make it happen. I was like, okay.
We will not.
So the best way to learn is to go through it, and what if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. So that probably
they just
where you are today.
They were the most. They were hard. They were hard people.
They were very difficult clients.
They were very difficult clients. Mm-hmm. That was one challenge, but I guess overall as a challenge, I know everyone's challenge an agent is getting new leads and organization, things like that. You got to have a hand on those things. Mm-hmm. If you're going to grow your business, you got to step back and make sure everything is in place first.
All right. What do you guys do when you're not selling real estate?
I feel like all my free time goes to the army. Killing me.
Oh my gosh. Probably
drinking.
Probably sitting on a couch and
low key
eating Thin Mints and
alcohol.
Yeah.
Wine.
Mom. When we are not working, it is very much lounge.
Yeah, we're chilling.
Because I like to work a lot. So I give myself those hour or two breaks.
I was going to say, in the 5-minute free time that he has.
Yeah, we're very much of a, work hard, party hard.
Yeah.
I'm about it.
All right. Well, I know that's ingrained, or at least when I was in the Navy, military, it was definitely ingrained in their culture. Maybe it's changed somewhat, but maybe not.
Yeah, probably not.
Last question here before we wrap up. Where do you see yourselves 10 years from now?
That's a really tough. I don't even, honestly, I don't even have an answer, because
I low-key have an answer. I have an answer.
I have an answer 1 year ago. So like,
that's fair. 10 years from now, I would basically just want to keep growing the team. Right? I mean, that's every realtor's goal, I feel like, right? Grow your own team and have growing and growing and growing.
Mm-hmm.
So 10 years from now, I mean, if this is like a team of 10 agents, minimum 10, that'd be great. Whether it be, yeah, I mean, that'd be the big goal. So,
yeah.
Well, it'll be exciting to watch you two grow, and as individuals and as the first brother sister mini team we've had here, and so I'm excited to watch it. Thank you for being on the show. Second time for Jonathan, first time for you, Amanda. Before I sign off, if people want to follow you or get in touch, what are the best ways to do
that? Hit me up on Insta.
Yeah.
Jonathan
sells DMV.
Yep.
Amanda sells DMV.
Yep.
Made it easy.
All right.
There you go.
Follow them on Instagram. Jonathan sells DMV. Amanda sells DMV. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching and listening. And hopefully you learned something from this dynamic pair of realtors working as a team, brother and sister. It's exciting to watch. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the HyperFast Show. Subscribe to us if you want to make sure you get the latest and greatest HyperFast shows. And remember, we love reviews. Reviews help us bring better and better guests and improve our shows. So give us the good, the bad, and the ugly. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next time.
Hey guys, thanks for sticking around to the end. I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you want to see more, click right here. And if you want 100 real estate tips from my best-selling book, click right here to download them instantly. And if you're new to this channel, click below to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out. And leave some comments about what you think on the videos.